How is everyone? So good to see you over here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always good to be here on the 6 to 8 channel. And this is me, Tarana, saying hello to all of you and basically welcoming you all to class. It's nice to have you over here, right? Okay, so I just want to know from all of you whether I can be seen and whether I can be heard. And if I can be seen and heard, then just give me a lot of thumbs ups so that I know you can see me and hear me. And then I will start welcoming everyone to class. I've already done that, but basically, I want to know whether I can be seen and heard. I don't know, don't underscore know. What sort of cool name is that? But it should be, I know, right? Or actually, don't know is good because if you don't know, then gives you a chance to learn. That's a cool name. Okay. Hi, Sarabjeet. Hi, Simran. Hi, KE. Hi, Daksha. Okay, Ansha Rishnya, thank you so much for giving me that thumbs up. That gives me clarity that I can be seen and heard. And that is a huge relief. Okay. And yes, yes, ma'am. Elaya Raja. I'm sorry, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thank you for all the thumbs ups. Okay, super. Hi, Zedmin Wonderland. Welcome. You're new, but I'm sure you're going to become a regular with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, every time I look over here, this is, by the way, to take a look at your comments. I am trying my best to keep up with all the comments, but sometimes it happens that I'm not able to see all the comments. So you know that it's not because I don't want to reply or because I'm ignoring you, but because basically I've not seen that comment. Right? Okay. With that, call me Manish. Hi. Okay. What is it? Hi Priyansha. Hi Anshuli. Hi Niharika. Hi Bhavya. Hi Utpal. Welcome again. I haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been? Yeah. Okay. Hi Harjeet. Hi Mohammed. Hi Shopa. Hi. Oh my God, this is like Daksha. Hi, Daksha. This chat is going like so fast, so super fast. This is crazy. Now, this is a session for my grade 8 students. As you know, we're going to be studying, well, we're actually going to be doing like a one-shot revision of coal and petroleum. So, are you ready? This chapter has already been covered by me in different concepts. I had done coal separately, I had done petroleum separately. Plus, we went ahead and we did NCRT questions on this chapter, and then we also went and did Menti quizzes on this chapter. In fact, I've done Menti a lot of times for you. So today is a one-shot revision of this particular chapter. So I'm not going to be going too much into detail. If there is a question for you that is not answered, please go ahead and take a look at the concept sessions that I have already done for you, and that will become a thorough revision. Okay, but today we're just going to be like skimming through it in one shot because this is a thoda sa lamba sa long chapter. So I want to do coal and petroleum and natural gas basically all together, and it will take a little bit of time. So I'm going to try and wrap this up for you within 1 hour. Like I said, any questions that I don't take today, you will find the answer in our concept sessions, our theory sessions, which we've already done, and you will find the answer even in the NCRT questions as well as the Menti quizzes that we've done. With that, hi Marmoose. Marmoose, I'm never sure how to pronounce your name. I think the last time I was pronouncing it wrong also. I'm not sure how to do that. So please forgive me if I haven't been able to. Hi Anshul. Yay, that's superb. That was a lovely comment. Thank you, Anshul. Hey Ma, welcome. Nice to have you over here. Hi Avinash. Hi Bitu Taku. Is that it? Hi Sarabjeet, hi Janvi, hi Madhurkar, hi Karnataka Reddy, hi Shiraj Nayak, hi Priyanshu, hi OS Dead or Alive. Wow, that's a lot of people over here. Okay, with that, I'm just going to go ahead and start with today's chapter because this is a thoda sa lamba sa chapter, like I said. So go ahead, participate as much as you're participating right now, and at the end I'll just take a couple of questions and we will sort of apply the knowledge that we've got today from the revision. Okay, so first of all, to start with, we have to understand in terms of coal and petroleum what coal and petroleum are, right? Coal and petroleum are basically what we call natural resources. Now, in terms of, okay, before I continue with this, who can tell me what is a resource? Who can tell me what is a resource? We'll come to a natural resource. What is a natural resource later, but who can tell me what is a resource? When we're talking about resources, what do we mean? Chalo. Hi, Blossom, no problem at all. What is a resource? Come on, come on. Thank you, Priyanshu. Marnus. Marnus. Okay, all right. Okay, great, great, great. What is the meaning of the word resource? When we say that something is a resource, what do we mean? Can you tell me? Yes, it's useful material. Absolutely right. Ycom, is that correct? Ycom Mukesh Singh, it is useful, something that can be used, something that can be utilized, right? That is what a resource is. Manus, it's not necessary that when we're talking about the word resource, yes, you have resources from nature, but then you also have resources that are man-made. So yes, some resources are natural, which is what we're going to be studying about today, but then some resources are man-made. For example, this is my phone, and a phone is a man-made resource, right? But it's still a resource because I need to use it to talk or to communicate with other people. So that's a resource too. Okay. Yes, resource is useful material for human needs. Absolutely correct. Okay, perfect. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need. Very nice. Perfect. Now, like I said earlier, Marnus, there are two kinds of resources. There are natural resources, which are resources that are found in nature. And then there are man-made resources, which are resources that are made by man. Now, today, in terms of today's chapter, we're going to be discussing basically natural resources. Now, in terms of natural resources, there are two types of resources largely that we're going to be talking about, which is basically, one is inexhaustible natural resources and the other is exhaustible natural resources. Now, when we're talking about inexhaustible natural resources, what do we mean? We basically mean something that is inexhaustible. Inexhaustible matlab ye khatam hi nahi hota, khatam hi nahi hota, khatam nahi hoga, right? Because there is an abundant supply of these resources around us. So for example, sunlight. Sunlight is an inexhaustible natural resource. Matlab, the sun is always there, right? No matter how much heat and light we're taking from the sun, that's not getting over. So sun, for example, sunlight is an inexhaustible natural resource. Or we have the air around us. Now, air is also an inexhaustible natural resource, right? So these resources are resources that are unlimited in nature, right? They are unlimited, which means ample supply. हम लोग use करते जाए, but there is no problem because it's abundantly available. Now that I've explained what are inexhaustible natural resources, can you go ahead and tell me what is the opposite? What do you think exhaustible natural resources would mean? Tell me. Right? My garden, yes, I remember you. Okay, Sushma, I'm currently teaching 6 to 8, but I teach a lot of channels. I mean, I teach a lot of grades, across grades, yes. Correct. Avinash, resources that are present in nature limited is called exhaustible resources. For example, coal and petroleum, that would be correct. Okay, but basically they are, what does this mean? This means Varun, no menti today at all, right? Basically, ma'am, gas is a liquid or a gas is a fuel. Well, what do you mean gas is a liquid or gas is a fuel? Gas is a gas, and certain kinds of gases can be used as fuels also. Okay, hi Charvi. What is hi Shiraj? Okay, what is an exhaustible natural resource? I have explained what is inexhaustible natural resource. You need to tell me what is exhaustible natural resource. Chalo. No menti today. I'm not going to take any menti questions at all. Correct. Ma'am, there are resources that get exhausted. Avik Dubai, very good. They get exhausted or run out and need time to get renewed. Absolutely right. Exhaustible natural resources are those resources that are exactly opposite of inexhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources matlab wo khatam hi nahi hota, it doesn't get over. Whereas exhaustible natural resources are those resources which are limited in nature. Matlab, the more we use them, they start depleting them, and these resources take millions and millions of years to renew themselves. So if we run short of the supply, if we finish the whole supply of that particular resource, we're not getting it back in our lifetime. And this is what exhaustible natural resources mean. Now, examples of exhaustible natural resources are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. And that is exactly what we're going to be studying today. Right? Coal, petroleum, and natural gas are exhaustible natural resources, and they're also, by the way, called fossil fuels. Now, who can tell me why coal, petroleum, and natural gas are called fossil fuels? Chalo. I'm taking a look at the comments over here. Come on. Who can tell me? Absolutely right, my garden. Exhaustible means that these resources are present in limited nature. Hi, Gyan 1823. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Okay. Chalo. Tell me, why are coal, petroleum, and natural gas called fossil fuels? Come on. Varun, I told you earlier that I'm not looking to ignore anybody, but sometimes the chat is moving so fast that's a little difficult for me to pay attention to everybody. Please remember that. A teacher will never ever ignore like that, okay? Made, not, Jyoti, not because they're limited in nature, but because they're made by fossils, right? They're made up of organic matter decay, correct? Okay, absolutely right. Yes, because it gives energy, because they're made by fossils. Okay, yes, absolutely right. Fossil fuels are those fuels that are made by fossils, right? And they are used as a fuel, which means they're used for burning. Coal, petroleum, and natural gas are all three of these are exhaustible natural resources, which are basically fossil fuels, which means that they are formed by organic dead matter. And they are exhaustible because they take millions of years to renew. And they are fuels because we basically use them to burn and get energy. So we use them for different things to get the energy out of them. Right now, today, what we're going to be doing is covering all these three. We're going to be starting with coal. Now, in terms of coal, what are the things that we are going to be covering today? Well, first of all, we're going to be talking about what is coal in the first place. Coal, everybody knows, but a little bit about the characteristics of coal. Then we're going to be talking about what are the uses of coal. We have already covered all of this in the theory sessions, but today we'll be doing a chatpat revision. Then we'll be talking about the story of coal, which means how did coal form? Like, how do we get coal in the first place? Then we talk about, now that we know that coal is a resource, how can humans basically get it for us to use, right? And then we're going to be talking about the different products of coal. So with that, are you ready? Let's go ahead and understand first of all, what is coal? Right now, coal, everybody knows what coal is, in the sense some of you may have definitely seen it also. Coal, the Hindi word, I think is koila. We use koila. We burn it in a lot of places, in a lot of cold countries, cold places. They actually use it to burn. Sometimes when you have barbecues, they use coal to heat the kebabs or the paneer or the bhutta or whatever it is that we want on top of the coal. Basically, we can burn that coal to generate energy. Right now, what does coal look like? So first of all, we know that coal is kala, which means it's basically black in color. It's very hard. It looks like a stone. In fact, it is as hard as stone. And the unique thing about coal is that coal is mainly composed of carbon, right? Coal is mainly composed of carbon, and this is something that you should remember definitely. Okay, ठीक This is the revision of the full chapter Marnus. Okay, what about the teaching and voice? Dhyan, I didn't understand. Yes, it is made from plants which are decompressed under the earth. Kerala, we will be talking about that when we talk about the story of coal. Coal is black gold. Yes, that's true, because it is an exhaustible natural resource and it is black color, correct? Okay, no problem, Varun. It's absolutely fine. Come ahead and participate in the lesson either way. Yes, it is used in trains. Hi, Anantika. Okay, with that, we know what coal is. Coal is black in color. Coal is very, very hard, and it is basically composed of carbon. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the uses of coal. Now, some of you over here are already telling me what we used coal for. Like, for example, I told you that koila is used for barbecues, right? What are the other uses of coal? What are the other uses that you know? Go ahead and tell me. Chalo, tell me. Not petroleum. Petroleum we haven't discussed yet. TS ready. We will be coming to petroleum. Come on. Tell me. Coal. Bhavya is spamming. Bhavya, don't spam. Yay, congratulations, Bhavya. I can see that you selected for Sahyadri Science Talent Hunt. I'm so proud of you. Okay, chalo. Hi Anika, yes, I saw your comment. Yes, it is used to produce coke. Okay, so that is a product of coal. But when we're talking about coal as it is, what are some of the uses? What do we use coal for? Okay, correct, it is used to generate electricity. Absolutely right. Located me, sorry. Coal was used in the ancient times also. Absolutely right. Generate electricity, to use energy. It is used to make coke. Coke is a product. Absolutely right. It is used in power plants. Absolutely correct. Hi Vaishnavi. Thermal power plants to produce electricity. Correct, Avinash. Okay, so let's talk about some of the uses of coal. Basically, coal is used in power plants. Okay, absolutely right. Some of you have already told me that. It is used in steam engines. So basically, earlier we used to have, trains that used to run on coal, and they used to burn the coal, and this is how the steam engine used to run. So since early days, people have been using coal because coal is actually good to generate energy. It is used in industries. It is used for cooking. Like I said, the barbecue that I told you about, that's used to cook. In a lot of the villages also, people use the coal to go ahead and cook. So these are uses of coal, and coal is actually a very precious resource. Absolutely right. Okay, with that, thank you, Nyan 1823, to make kebabs, Bhavya is saying. Yes, it is used to make kebabs, correct. Okay, with that, hi Bitukattu. My garden, why am I so bad? Baba, I said hi to you also. You asked me whether you remember me. I said, yes, I remember you. Now suddenly you're saying I'm bad. What is this now? You're saying I'm bad. Now I'm feeling bad. I'll also cry. Let's all sit and cry together. Is that going to help anything? It's not going to help. No, better to be positive, better to be happy. Okay, chalo. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and talk about the story of coal. Now, who can go ahead and tell me? I have done this in class before. How did coal form? How does coal form in the first place? Chalo, tell me. Yes, Marnus, it is limited in nature. Come on. Hi, Charvi. Okay, video for class 6 will also come. Okay, good evening. Adi 007, no problem, my garden. You know I love all my students. It's absolutely okay. Chalo, ma'am is diamond. Oh, thank you. By the way, coal is also made from diamond. Coal is made from carbon, and diamond is also a form of carbon. So, wow, that's cool. Okay, my name Varun is Tarana. Okay, by carbonization, absolutely correct. No problem, my garden. By carbonization, but what is the process of carbonization? Who can tell me? When forests are flooded in water. Absolutely correct. Coal was formed, Kyra says, coal was formed from plants under the earth millions of years, which got decompressed by heat and pressure into coal. Correct. Okay. Decades, organizing organisms get down in pressure. Basically, there's pressure. Okay. Thank you, Bitu Kattu. From plants that lived millions of years ago, these plants grew in swampy areas, died, and were buried under layers of sediment. Absolutely correct. So, it's very important to know that about 300 million years ago, Earth had these really dense forests, which were basically swampy forests. They were in low-lying wetland areas, right? They were swampy, they were in wetlands. Now, what happened over here was that because of natural processes like flooding, for example, these forests started getting buried, right? Underwater, under soil, right? And as these forests started going more and more underground, they started getting buried under the soil. What started happening over there? More and more soil started depositing over these forests. There were layers and layers of soil. Imagine, we're talking about 300 million years ago, right? So layers and layers of soil were formed all over these forests. And what happened? Basically, all the organic matter in those forests, which is basically the vegetative matter, because of all the bearing, layers and layers of soil started compressing this organic matter, and they started getting compressed under a huge amount of pressure and a huge amount of temperature. And because of this high pressure, high temperature, absence of air, this vegetative matter, this dead vegetative matter, which was basically the fossils of this vegetative matter, they got converted to coal. And that is how we get coal. Right now, we also have to remember that because coal is made of carbon, like we already said, this slow process of the dead vegetation or the dead vegetative matter turning into coal is what we call the process of carbonization. So some of you have already told me over here that we get coal from carbonization. That is absolutely correct. Carbonization, by the way, is also called coalification because it's the process of turning the dead vegetative matter into coal. So, and basically carbonization, because coal basically is, it is basically a form of carbon. Right, so that is the story of coal, and I think it's a really cool story. It's so mind-boggling to think of, oh my God, 300, 400 million years ago. Imagine what the earth looked like, right? No, none of us know. We can only we know this because science has told us this, but just imagine the world around us at that point in time. I think it's just mind-boggling. Okay, with that, yes, Kyra takes place in, TS Reddy says petroleum takes place in the sea and coal in the soil. Yes, well, petroleum can also be formed under land, but it's a slightly different process. I will explain that to you when I come to petroleum. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, with that, they also compressed by dinosaurs. Suama. Suama, I told you already earlier that sometimes I may not see comments, but I'm not ignoring you. Anyone now who says that I'm ignoring them, I'm not going to read that comment only, because I don't at all recommend or talk negative things. I want only positivity in my class. I want only happiness in my class. So anybody who says anything negative, please either leave or make it into a happy atmosphere, because that's what I encourage in this class. Okay, I can never ever ignore my students. So I'm not ignoring you. If I've not seen the comment, my apologies, but I can never ignore my students. But from now onwards, I'm not reading any of the messages of people who say I'm ignoring them. Okay, clear? Okay. Vegetative matter is basically, Varun, the plants. Okay, the plants and trees are called vegetation. So vegetative matter is the plants and the trees which basically died, and that is what is called vegetative matter. And after dying, they became fossils, and then those fossils turned into coal. Clear? Okay, perfect. Okay, no problem, my garden. Absolutely right. Congratulations, Daksha. So with that, we have completed the story of coal. Now, we know how coal is formed, but the point is, we know that coal is like way under the earth. Imagine, like it's formed so deep inside the earth. So how can we humans get this coal? Now, we need coal to coke, to use for energy, etc. So how do we reach this coal? This coal is so deep under the ground. How do we get this coal? Who can tell me? What is the process of obtaining coal? Who can tell me? Chalo. Drilling. Well, drilling is something that the word drilling is used more for petroleum and not really for coal. Who can tell me what is the word, what do we use to get this coal out? Underground mines, absolutely right. Surface mining, deep mining, Jyoti, very good. Bitukatu, mining, absolutely right. Vinita, mining, correct. Adira, mining. Congratulations, my garden, 100 in science exam, that's cool. Qualification, is that spelling correct? No, that's wrong. It's COALIFICATION. Just double check that in case in a hurry I've given you the wrong spelling. Okay, yes, NCRT, absolutely right. It is called carbonization. I'm just saying qualification because it's a general knowledge thing. But from an NCRT purpose, you just go ahead and say carbonization, because your question will be based on carbonization and not on qualification. I'm just giving you some extra information, right? Okay, with that, absolutely correct. Basically, we obtain coal with two methods. One is called surface mining. Now, surface mining is basically mining, it's basically extracting the coal from the ground, right? But surface mining is closer to the surface of the earth. Now, this is preferred when the depth of the coal is up to 200 feet in the ground. So if it is 200 feet in the ground, though 200 feet sounds like a lot, it's actually not that much. It's more towards the surface of the earth, because actually the earth, goes so deep that 200 feet, for us humans, that's easy peasy. So this is what we call surface mining, and this can be done with people and few machines. As you can see over here, they basically dig into the ground, and they can dig into 200 feet. It's not very difficult, and basically they take the coal out. But sometimes this coal is much deeper than 200 feet also. So at that point in time, what is the method that is used? At that point in time, we use something called deep mining. Now, deep mining is the method that is used when the coal deposits are lying below 200 feet, which means obviously now we can't do surface mining. So what do? Basically, we have to go deep into the ground and use these lift sort of machines that you see over here, where you actually, with ropes, with pulleys, these men or the workers have to go deep into the ground and there basically remove the coal. So remember, surface mining is up to 200 feet. Deep mining is beyond or more than 200 feet, and this is exactly how we obtain coal. Clear so far? Okay, if the mining is below 200 feet, it's called deep mining. Absolutely. Thank you, my garden. Okay, how to, what? SNRAP, SMAP, I didn't understand. Okay, yay, Bhavya, congratulations. Coke is a product of coal. Absolutely right. Hardik, I will be back in the studio very soon. Currently, just for my convenience, I'm doing it from home. Okay, okay, I will come to what Coke is, Anushka. Right, so this is clear. Now we move on to the products of coal. Now, like some of you asked me, what is coke? Well, coke, coal tar and coal gas are what we call products of coal. So let's go ahead and talk about the products of coal. First of all, we have to understand, how do we get the products of coal? Products of coal are basically got by, okay, I'm not going to tell you, you tell me. How do we get the products of coal? What is the process that is used to get the products of coal? Who can tell me? Yes, coal, coal tar and coal gas, absolutely right. What is the process? What do we call the process of getting the products out of coal? Chalo, tell me. Covering the new textbook of science class 6, we will do everything for you. Come on, coke is a pure form of carbon. Absolutely correct. Yes, destructive distillation, Yashu, that is absolutely correct. Okay. What is destructive distillation? Destructive distillation is the process of obtaining the products of coal when basically coal is burnt or heated in the absence of air. Now, when we go through the process of destructive distillation, we get the products of coal. There are 3 products of coal that we are going to be discussing, which is basically coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Now, when we talk about coke, coke is a really useful product. It's tough, it's porous, which means it has breathable holes in it. It's a black substance just like coal, and it's an almost pure form of carbon. So if you get a question about this to say which of these is an almost pure form of carbon, you know that coke is an almost pure form of carbon. And my garden, thanks for the dab. Okay, I will come to coal tar also. Right now, what are the uses of coke? Well, it is used in steel production. It's used in the metal industry. It's actually a very important product of coal. Okay? With that, we move on to you can drink coal. Well, coal is used to produce things, but I'm not sure that you can drink it as it is, right? No, I don't think so. Coke, not that Coke. You can drink Coke. Yes, you can drink the soft drink Coke, but when we're talking about Coke over here, we're not talking about the soft drink Coca-Cola. We're talking about Coke, which is a product of coal. Okay. I also drink Coke, Manus. Yes, sometimes I drink it, not too much because it's full of sugar, not very healthy, but yeah, I drink it also. Right? Okay, with that, you can say slow because you are telling very fast. Bhavya, I am trying my best to go as slow as possible, but I have to go fast because this is a very long chapter. I've done the slower version for you in the theory session where I've given you different sessions on coal, petroleum. Go ahead and watch that. For now, I will have to go fast so that I can finish this entire chapter in one hour. It's a one shot. Okay, with that, let's go ahead. Congratulations, 95 Anushka. Next product we're going to be talking about is coal tar. Now, what is coal tar? Coal tar is basically a black, thick liquid. So, when we're talking about the products of coal, see, coke is a solid, coal tar is a liquid, and coal gas is a gas. Remember, solid, liquid, gas, these are the products of coal. Coke, coal tar, coal gas, right? Now, coal tar is a liquid. It's a black, thick liquid and has a unpleasant smell. And it's actually a mixture of a whole lot of substances, almost 200 substances. But this is a very useful substance also. This is a very useful product. It's used to make so many things like paints, explosives, roads, cosmetics, medicines. So it actually has a lot of uses. Okay? With that, is Coke made from coal? Yes, Varun, Coke is made from coal, not the drinking Coke. Huh? That's not made from coal. Road is made by bitumen. Yes, Bhavya, but bitumen is a product of petroleum, not of coal. Right? Okay, correct. Coal tar is used to lay, it's a thick liquid that is sometimes used to lay, they put this liquid on top of the roads basically. The roads, bitumen is also used to make roads, and coal tar is also basically, it's for a particular, to make the roads a little bit more smooth. It's like, you would have seen actually on a lot of the roads, sometimes in the city, you see them applying this thick black liquid on top of the road, and that is what coal tar is. Okay, theek hai. With that, we move on to the last product of coal, which is coal gas. Like I said, we have three solid, liquid, gas. Coke is a solid, coal tar is a liquid, and coal gas is a gas. Coal gas also is obtained during the processing of coke, which means through the destructive distillation. And we get coal gas through that. There are many uses, and basically coal gas is used in power plants, right? With that, we have finished our entire section of coal. I want everyone to give me a dab to say that you've understood this, and then I will move on to petroleum. Come on, I want a dab, I want a dab, I want a dab. Come on, dab, 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 dab. 200 substances. I'm not going to sit to tell you here what the 200 substances are, Marnus. I think just from our point of view, it's enough to know that what the 200 substances are. But if you want to know, I would suggest go look it up, right? Sometimes when we don't know, it's always good to go and research a little bit. You're drinking Coke right now, Akshay. I hope it's not the coal wala Coke. Yeah, my garden says Dove. Zedmin, Wonderland, Dove. Yeah, Dove, 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 Dove. Thanks, Utpal. Great. Okay, superb. Menti class 8. Array, Menti class 8, we finished some time back already. How many of you love Menti, no? All the time you want Menti, Menti, Menti. Coal gas, healthy, Marnus, it does have some disadvantages when we're talking about coal does give off a lot of smoke, so it's not an extremely healthy thing to be breathing in, if that's what you're asking. Superb, located me, Bhavya, my garden, thank you for all the dabs, very appreciable towards her dedication towards her students. Yay, Madhukar, thank you, Adira says dab. Okay, no, Marnus, it is not healthy to inhale, like I said. Superb. So I've got all the dabs from you. With that, we now move on to our next fossil fuel, which is basically petroleum. So under petroleum, what are we going to be covering today? Let's take a look. We're going to be talking about what is petroleum in the first place. Then we will be talking about how can we get petroleum and natural gas to use, right? And we will be talking about what is the process of getting the different products of petroleum, which is basically refining of petroleum. And we will be talking about the different products that we get from petroleum. So first of all, let's go ahead and understand what is petroleum. Now, we know that petroleum is a fossil fuel. So, which means that petroleum, like coal, is also made from dead organic matter. But this is slightly different over here, okay? First of all, if we have to break up the word petroleum, let us understand that petroleum comes from two words, right? I'm not sure which language it is. I think we should sort of research that a little bit. But basically, petra means rock and oleum means oil. So basically, petroleum is literally oil that we find beneath the surface of the earth, beneath the seas. It's basically mined from between the rocks of the earth. It is oil that is found beneath or between the rocks of the earth. So it's basically trapped oil. Now, who can tell me how we get petroleum? How is petroleum formed in the first place? Chalo, tell me. Petroleum, absolutely right. Right. Yay, my garden. Congratulations. Okay. Who can tell me how is petroleum formed? Come on. What is coal? Now, Samar, I've already answered that. Byju's TS, like I said, go ahead. It would be better not to talk about stuff like this at all over here. We are here as teachers. We're teaching our students to the best we can. So let's try and keep it positive and happy as much as we can. What is the doubt, MJ? Go ahead and post the doubt and I will try and ask that. Yes, MJ lovers, instead of saying I have a doubt, go ahead and ask me what the doubt is. Chalo, from the sea, yes, Sanvi, but how? How? What do you mean? Chalo, tell me. Dead vegetation of sea plants and animals, Jahangir, that is right. Okay. It's in medieval Latin. Swipe. That's cool. Thank you for giving us that information. MJ lovers, just go ahead and give me the doubt. How many times are you telling me that you have the doubt? Go ahead and tell me. I'll tell you what the doubt is. Right? Petroleum, also known as crude oil, is a fossil fuel formed from the remains of microscopic organisms that lived millions of years ago. Petroleum is also known as crude oil in its fossil form. It is basically dead matter in the sea and the ocean. It is dead marine life. Absolutely correct. So, basically, petroleum and natural gas, okay, we have to understand again, around 304 million years ago, there were plants and animals that lived in very shallow seas, right? Then what started happening to these plants and animals? These plants and animals, obviously, they started dying, as all living things do die, right? And these plants and animals that lived in the seas basically got buried under lots and lots of sediment and lots of soil. Now we're talking about 300, 400 million years ago, right? So imagine the amount of soil that has formed over this dead material, over this dead marine life, both marine plants as well as marine animals. Right? So as the soil started forming sediment, layers and layers over this dead marine life, basically, there was an enormous amount of pressure, there was an enormous amount of temperature, and there was the absence of oxygen. And this is how the remains of these dead marine plants and animals basically got transformed into what we know as petroleum and natural gas. So if you talk about the formation, it's kind of similar to the formation of coal, except that coal is formed from dead vegetative matter, which basically came from the swampy forests, whereas petroleum and natural gas are formed from dead marine life, which is basically plants and animals that lived in the seas, right? So this is the difference basically. Okay? Okay. Don't they get eaten if they die? But everything is dying, even the things that are eating them are dying, and then those things are eventually getting converted into fossil fuels, Marnus? Yes, they got compressed. Absolutely. So Marnus have already answered that. Ma'am, is there mentee? No. Do you no mentees there? No mentees there. No mentee. Stop spamming, Samika. Okay, with no, I don't know too much Kannada. Kannada, I don't reply. Salpa kalita idini, which means I'm learning a little bit. Now, these deposits of petroleum and natural gas, like I said, they got buried. It was basically marine life, marine plants, marine animals that got buried under lots and lots of soil. So, in terms of the earth, there are, in some places where there were seas, there still continues to be seas. In some places where there were seas, there's basically land now. So we find petroleum and natural gas both under the sea as well as under the land. Because 300, 400 million years ago, who knows where the seas were? What we see as land today was probably sea at that point in time, right? But because it was sea at that point in time, we'll still find petroleum underneath over there, right? Okay, so basically, we will find deposits of petroleum and natural gas both under the sea and under the land, right? And we can go ahead and extract this petroleum and natural gas. What is the process that is used to extract petroleum and natural gas? Like we said, for example, in terms of coal, it's basically, we mine coal. When we're talking about extracting the deposits of petroleum and natural gas, what is the process that is used over here? Thank you, Rail Route 1984. Okay. chalo. When will be the other? When will be the other what? I don't understand. Refining. TS ready. Absolutely correct. It is done in a refinery. Absolutely correct. Petroleum refining, Anushka, is exactly what we're going to be covering now. In some time. But basically, when we've got deposits of petroleum and natural gas, what are we using? We are going to be talking about how can we extract this petroleum and natural gas from under the earth. So this is done with the process of drilling. So as you can see in this picture over here, there is a drill and a pipeline that is lowered into the sea towards the seabed, and basically it drills right into the seabed, and from there what happens, it removes basically it attaches to the seabed, and it drills further, like you can see over here. Can you see it's going so deep into the earth? And what happens with this basically is that this drilling pipe then goes ahead and pulls out the oil, pulls out the gas, right? And once it pulls out the gas and the oil, basically the oil is collected separately. So they go deep into the sea, deep into the land, and they pull out the oil and the gas, and basically these are collected separately, as we can see in this picture. Okay? So the process of drilling to extract, basically we're using the process of drilling to extract petroleum and natural gas. Right. Now, like I told you, petroleum can be found both under the land as well as under the sea. When we drill or we extract petroleum from under the land, it is called onshore extraction or onshore drilling, basically, right? We're talking about onshore extraction, which means it's on the shore, it's on the land. When we're talking about extraction of petroleum that happens from the seabed, we basically say it is offshore, which means it is off the land. Okay? This is not part of your syllabus, but this I'm just giving you a little bit extra information over here. What is this process called? It's basically called the extraction of petroleum, and we're doing it with the process of drilling, right? What is the depth of it? Varun, I think this is a good research question. Why don't you research it and tell us also what exactly? I think the depths would be varying, because considering in different places of the earth, there would be different levels that the petroleum would have reached, right? Or different levels where we can find it. So it's difficult to say what level it is exactly. Different places, different levels. Okay? Yes, TS ready. Absolutely right. It is kind of random because the earth is so large, right? Okay, chalo. Now, from refining, yes, Sanvi, we get the constituents of petroleum. Absolutely right. That is what we are going to be talking about now. Refining of petroleum or fractional distillation is the process of the refining of petroleum, which means it is from this process that we actually get the various different products of petroleum. Petroleum has so many products, and this is got from the process of refining. So what happens is, first, what is basically the refining of petroleum? This petroleum and natural gas is basically extracted. Okay, it's removed from under the earth or under the sea, and then it is transported in big long pipes. Okay, it is sent to the refineries. Now, refineries are the places where you can get the different products of petroleum, and then we go ahead and we use the different products of petroleum. So this is also called fractional distillation. Fractional distillation, basically because we're getting the different fractions or the different constituents of petroleum, right? This is quite important. They may ask you, what is fractional distillation? Fractional distillation is the process of getting out the products or the constituents of petroleum. So the process of separating the various constituents or fractions of petroleum is known as refining, and this is what gives us all the different products of petroleum. Now, who can tell me, before I tell you, before I go ahead and teach this to you, what are the different products of petroleum? Who can tell me? Chalo, tell me. Hi Rutpa, Renuka, what is the doubt? Petroleum is a dark oily liquid. Absolutely correct. What do you want to know? Located me. I don't understand. Chalo. Quickly go ahead and tell me, what are the different products that we can get from petroleum? Sharif Malik, we will be sort of posting. You'll get all your updates in a short while, right? Currently, this is what we have over here. So yes, bitumen. Yes, bitumen is a product, is a petrochemical, which means it is a product of petroleum. Absolutely right. Okay, diesel and petrol. Absolutely right. Love from Kashmir. Thank you, Ishfaq. Petrochemicals. Yes, basically the products of petroleum are known as petrochemicals. Absolutely correct. Okay, so what are these different petrochemicals? Basically, refining of petroleum is carried out in a petroleum refinery, and this is where we get the different petrochemicals or the different constituents. And there are many. There's petroleum gas, there's petrol, there's kerosene, there's diesel, there's fuel oil, there's lubricating oil, there's bitumen. All of these are called petrochemicals, which means that they are the constituents of petroleum, and we are then using these products, so these constituents of petroleums, for our different needs, right? Okay. Yes, CNG is natural gas. I'm going to be coming to that in a bit. Diesel, petrol, bitumen, kerosene. Absolutely, these are the constituents of petroleum. ठीक है. With that, we move on to our last fossil fuel, which is basically natural gas. Now, we already know how natural gas is formed. Natural gas and petroleum are formed in the same way, right? It's basically from dead marine life. The only difference is that petroleum is basically a liquid and natural gas is a gas, right? Okay, now natural gas, which is basically what we call compressed natural gas, is basically a relatively clean fuel, which means that doesn't leave too many toxins. It's a good fuel. It gives us a lot of energy without giving us all the harmful stuff. So it's actually a really good fuel to have. And the advantage about natural gas is that it's really easy to transport. You can just use pipes to transport it, and so this gas can be supplied, over large distances also, because it's so easy to transport. Now, this is about natural gas. I mentioned compressed natural gas. Basically, natural gas that is stored under very, very high pressure. We call it CNG, or compressed natural gas. And we know that CNG is actually a very good fuel. It is used in our cars. And in fact, we recommend also that we should go ahead and use CNG, because the amount of pollution that that the petrol and diesel and all of these other fossil fuels give us, CNG doesn't give us that much pollution or as many toxins. And this is what natural gas is all about. It is a fuel in a gas form. Absolutely right. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and talk about the uses of natural gas. It is used in power generation. It is used in vehicles. So basically, natural gas is a very helpful fossil fuel to have. It gives us a huge amount of energy, but without so many of the harmful effects of the other fossil fuels, right? Okay, it is the cleanest fuel. Correct. Okay, Madhukar, I'm not going to be able to explain the petrochemicals again for you because we're running short of time. So like I said, anybody who has not got their questions answered in this, because this is a one-shot revision, go ahead and watch the session that I have done for you on coal and petroleum. And I have covered refining of the petrochemicals there in detail, absolutely in detail. So you will get a slower version of the same thing, and you will get it'll be easier for you to follow. So please go ahead and watch that session. ठीक है? In this process, water will be coming with oil or no? Yes, yes, MJ lovers, yes. But the water in this process is more like a waste product. It is not what we are actually using. But yes, water is also coming out. No? They're bringing it out. So the water is stored separately. Oil is, water is taken out separately. The oil is taken out separately, and the gas is basically separate. ठीक है? Okay. With that, we know that, like we spoke about, that natural resources are exhaustible. They are limited, right? Because why are they exhausted? Why are they exhaustible, or why are they limited? Because obviously they take 400 million years to form, which means that if we run out of these fuels, if we use up all these fuels, what is going to happen? We're not going to have any left, right? So what do we need to do? We're not going to have any left for this particular lifetime. Maybe the next supply of these fossil fuels will get 400 years later, but we will not be around to make use of that. So which is why we say that these natural resources are limited, because it takes millions of years to renew or to form, right? So which is why we need to use them sparingly. We need to use them carefully, right? But what are we doing? Human beings are very greedy. So what are we doing? We are using them so much, so much, so much, so much. Our usage or our consumption of these fossil fuels is much, much higher than the basically the formation, because obviously the formation is taking 300-400 years. So what do we need to do? We need to be careful, because if we use it up so much, naturally anything that we keep using a lot is going to get over, right? But sunlight, for example, if we keep using it, no problem, because there's ample sunlight. But these fossil fuels, if we keep using them the way that we are using them right now for all our uses, we are going to run out of it. We are using it very, very fast, and it is not forming fast enough, right? And which is why they are limited, right? Additionally, we have to understand, so we need to be careful with these fossil fuels because we'll run out of them. But apart from that, we also need to be careful with these fossil fuels. Why? Because these fossil fuels, when we are burning them, have very harmful environmental impact. Some of you earlier asked me about coal gas. Is it a very clean? Is it okay to inhale? No, it's not okay in large quantities. Absolutely not, because all of these fossil fuels, less with CNG, but with the rest, basically, when we burn these fuels, which is how we use them, they lead to a lot of toxins, they lead to a lot of pollutants, they lead to a lot of pollution. And as a result of this, there's a lot of carbon dioxide that is given out, which basically increases global warming. So it is a huge environmental impact, right? Okay, Varun, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and research what is benzene. Okay, no Yashu, no Menti. Okay, great. Do EV cars produce pollution? No. Electronic vehicles do not produce pollution because basically they are electrically or battery operated, and which is why people today are switching to this, because we're not, number one is helping us to not use petrol, diesel and all of these things, and number two, it's much cleaner, right? Because there's not much of the harm or the toxins or the pollutants that are going out, right? We cannot make coal by man-made process, MJ lovers, because if we could, then it would not be a limited or an exhaustible fuel, right? It is a natural resource, and which is why, and it is an exhaustible resource, and if it could be man-made, to kya magic hota? But no. Okay, natural gas also contains methane as a 3 to 5% pollutants. Well, it is a mixture of a whole lot of things. We don't need to get into the proportion at this point in time at all. Degradation of fossil fuels is the current problem. PCRA gives us some tips to basically help with the fossil fuels. Absolutely right. This is what we are going to be talking about right now, right? So first of all, we have to understand that we need to use these fossil fuels only when necessary to have a healthy environment. Now, the PCRA, like we got over here, PCRA, which is the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, advises people as to how can we use these fuels more carefully. How can we save petrol? How can we save diesel while driving? Well, there are certain things that we can do which will actually help. Number one, drive slowly. Don't go full speed, drive slowly. Secondly, most people, even at a traffic signal, the engine is on. Why? It's a traffic signal. It's red. Nah. When the signal goes green, that time switch on the engine. Why do you have to keep the engine on when the traffic signal is on? This way we are basically using a whole lot of fuel, and that's not really, we're not doing anything else with it. So, and it's not coming to much use is what I'm saying. So remember to switch off the engine at traffic lights, and this will definitely help it. Also, tire pressure, if the tire pressure is correct, it will help us to conserve fuel. Unnecessary fuel is not being used. Regular maintenance of the vehicle, this is very, very important, right? Okay, with that, now we have covered the entire section. So I'm going to take 5 minutes to take a little quiz. Not too many questions. Literally, we're going to finish this in 5 minutes. Okay. Yes, Adirathi 007. Less use of fuel using vehicles which can save a lot. Absolutely right. Correct, located me. This is what is the actual reason behind it. Why do they use it? Correct. 5 minutes more, Varun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the question. Explain why fossil fuels are exhaustible natural resources. I've just explained this. Why do we say that fossil fuels are exhaustible natural resources? Who can give me this answer? Chalo, dab. Raj. Chalo. A small step of turning a dripping pack makes a big impact. Absolutely right, Madhukar. This small thing of switching off the engine or maintaining our vehicle properly will help a lot also, right? Come on, because yes, Marnus, because it is limited in nature. Absolutely right. What else? Who can tell me? Why are fossil fuels called exhaustible natural resources? Because they're limited in nature, because they take million years for formation. Absolutely correct. Okay, because they are limited. This is absolutely correct. So fossil fuels, first of all, what are the fossil fuels? We know that coal, petroleum, natural gas are all fossil fuels. And these fossil fuels the formation of these fossil fuels take millions of years, right? And they are limited in nature, right? So the availability of these resources or these fossil fuels is limited. And if we keep using them, they will get exhausted by human activity. So your answer is absolutely correct. The formation of fossil fuels is a very slow process. It takes millions of years. The availability of these resources in nature is limited and they can be exhausted or finished by human activities. And so we say that fossil fuels are exhaustible natural resources. Okay, all right. Correct. Vaishnavi, yeah, these are not renewable resources. They're actually exhaustible natural resources. Okay? Correct, because they are exhausted by human activities. Name the petroleum product used for the surfacing of roads. We just discussed this sometime back. Name the petroleum product used for the surfacing of roads. Who can tell me? This is easy peasy. Chalo, chalo, chalo. Easy peasy, easy peasy. I spoke about two products, one from coal and one from petroleum, that are used to make roads. Which is the one that comes from petroleum and is used for the surfacing of road? Absolutely right, Marnus. Bitumen. Coal tar jyoti comes from coal. Here we are asking about the petroleum product. So yes, coal tar is used to surface roads and things like that. But the petroleum product that is used for surfacing of roads is basically bitumen. Right? Bitumen is used for the surfacing of roads and it is a product of petroleum. So if they ask you which coal product is used for the surfacing of roads, you will say coal tar. If they ask you the petroleum product that is used for the surfacing of roads, you will say bitumen. Okay. With that, that's the answer. Bitumen is the petroleum product used for surfacing of roads. And last question again, describe the characteristics and the uses of coke. Come on, we already explained what are the characteristics of coke and what are the uses of coke. Who can tell me this over here? Chalo, 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 chalo. Come on. Coal tar, bitumen. Anushka, I've already answered your question that coal is basically a natural resource, not a man-made resource. Anything that is used in excess, Madhukar, becomes poisonous or becomes polluting, right? And petroleum basically it's not an extremely clean fuel. So products also that are used will have some amount of pollutants or toxins linked to them, right? Yes, it is tough, it is porous, it is used in steel production, it is a solid form of coal, it is the purest form of carbon, it is tough, porous, carbon black. Absolutely right, all of you. Nilija, T.S. Reddy, Samika, very nice. Jyoti, very good. Superb. Let's quickly say this. Characteristics of coke is that coke is a black substance. It is tough, it is porous, and it is an almost pure form of carbon. Almost 98% of carbon in coke, right? What are the uses of coke? Many. It is used in steel production, it is used in the metal industry, and a lot of you have already given me this answer. So this is absolutely correct. We've spoken about the characteristics, we've spoken about the uses. And with that, quiz time is over. Now, like I said, I have gone super fast with this particular lesson because we have already covered all of this earlier. I have covered this in detail in a separate section on coal and a separate session on petroleum. If there are still some doubts, like some of you had some doubts about petroleum refining or the petrochemicals, please go ahead and watch those sessions. The link for all the sessions that we've covered on the 6 to 8 channel is in the description box. We've got different types of questions. If you want Menti, you've got Menti also there. There are practice sessions, there are NCRT questions. We've got so much over there. So please go ahead and revisit these sessions because they are meant for you. Okay? With that, hi Aradhya, so sweet. Akshaj Raj, so cute, so cute. What is Varun Upadhyay saying? Low volatile matter. Okay, all right, Sharif, please tell me when the other classes. Well, you will get to know about the other classes if you basically like and subscribe to the channel. You will get all the notifications over here. With that, this is basically me, Tarana, signing off. I'm going to see you very, very soon. Okay, so please take care and see you very, very soon. With this, I will be seeing you with another grade, another sort of session. So see you around. Bye bye.